Hello and welcome back to the Milltown Way, Shamrock Rovers independent podcast that delivers analysis, news, and insight that you won't find anywhere else. It's episode 10 today. Thanks for joining us, and I'm joined here as usual with Adam Casey.
Yeah, there's plenty to get into today. Big week ahead for Rovers as they face the Icelandic team Breiðablik in a big Conference League game. We're going to break down the side themselves, the key threats, and what Rovers will need to bring on Thursday night.
We'll also discuss the two key key pieces of transfer news that took place earlier in the week. That was, of course, Conan Noonan heading for Waterford on a permanent deal, and Conor Malley's loan spell being made permanent past January 2026. I suppose we'll start on the one that is staying at the club. That is, of course, Conor Malley. He was on loan from Sligo Rovers. He joined in July, and he's now been made official by the club that he will be at Rovers for the foreseeable.
Yeah, it's definitely a good move for Rovers as he's starting to kind of come into the squad that bit more and play that bit more. Like, for example, before the Sparta Prague Conference League game, he hadn't played since August, but then since then he's had minutes in nearly every game from the Sparta Prague Conference League game up until the end of the year, really, and up to and including the one and only goal against Shakhtar Donetsk uh, in the most recent Conference League game.
Yeah, and what a goal that he took very well, might add to that. Um, Against a top European side, in Shakhtar as well. So he done really well there to get a goal, and he has a lot of attributes that will bode well, I think, for this Rovers squad.
Definitely.
It is a position that's kind of, so that middle three that that Bradley tends to line out with. There's plenty of competition there. With we've seen an array of players in that position. With it might be Mandroyo, it might be Watts, Mahili, McAneff, Mali himself.
Yeah, it's probably the least consistent position in the
Yeah,
squad in terms of that there's
the hardest
relatively
fought for as well, isn't it?
consistent change in that position.
Yeah. Um, but there's plenty of competition in that position. I think having Mali in the ranks is definitely only going to boost Bradley's options, of course, with talent. He's 25 years of age, so
Yeah,
he's a lot of football left in him. I think he's definitely one that excites, and as you've said there, as you've already touched on, with once he's in form, once he's kind of has that regular game time, he's been showing up to recent, anyways, as topped off with that goal against Shakhtar. That he can be a real threat and a key player for
yeah,
for Rovers. So it's something that I think Bradley will be delighted about, and I'm sure a lot of fans are delighted that he's staying permanently. It obviously probably has resulted on the back of Conan Noonan heading out permanently as well.
yeah. That probably being in the background was part of the reason the deal. Not saying that he wouldn't have been kept on anyway, but definitely could have probably exacerbated things to try to get that deal done. Then, he's made 14 appearances for Rovers so far. He's been in the league now since 2023 with the season stint with Dundalk, then 2 years with Sligo, and then on to Rovers. Was actually played in the Championship, 3 appearances in the Championship
Yeah,
for Middlesbrough, and then also 6 appearances in the Scottish Championship as well. But no, it's definitely it's a good move. It's a good move for, as we said, especially with Conan Noonan, which we'll get into a bit more deeply in a few minutes. But it's definitely a good move for that midfield position, which, as we said, Bradley seems to be the position that he's consistently changing the most. Like with the centre half, same with most football. You very rarely see centre halves changing, and the back line kind of nearly stays the same as quite consistently. But that midfield they change quite often under Bradley, so it's definitely good having an extra man and a bit of depth in there too.
yeah, exactly. And as we touched on, there is plenty of depth there, plenty of quality. I think with Mali himself, even with regards to the consistent injury issues that he's had a little bit, or that one, or even just the one that's kind of ruled him out for a large spell
Yeah,
since arriving in July. But it's one that I think once he overcomes it, even he said himself, and when he did the interview to that kind of consolidate his permanent move to Rovers, was that he still doesn't feel 100% yet,
yeah,
which is obviously understandable. He's been out for quite some time, but I do think, yeah, look, he's one to excite, and I think he's definitely one. I think once gets going with Rovers and once he's playing consistently and he doesn't have he has a run of being injury free, I think
Yeah.
he'll be a huge addition to the squad.
Yeah, you do have to think. Yeah, as we mentioned as well, he's starting to get more minutes in the team. You can only expect that going forward now that it's been a permanent deal. If they're willing to make that move permanent, get a bit of money and to spend a bit of money on the lad, you'd expect him to get more and more game time going forward.
Yeah, the fee is undisclosed. Is the only thing, but yeah, he's definitely one that excited. Like he picked up that injury in the 4-0 win over Balkany
Yeah,
in the Conference League
got an
qualifiers.
assist that day as well.
Yeah, that knee injury that he got. But look, it's the one that you got as well was definitely more severe as in terms of the football side of things. Medial collateral ligament knee injury. So it was described as grade 1, and it's one of them that ruled him out for quite some time. That he
What type of injury was that again?
a medial collateral injury,
Where's that?
the knee.
Oh,
Yeah. But yeah, look, it's one that was severe enough that it was kind of ruled him out,
yeah,
and did, and it's certainly he's certainly a player that you want to nurture. For him, I think signing in July, and it would have been probably the loan would have expired in January. Is that he had limited time to impress, in any way, so he was always against that, and put an injury on top of all of that.
yeah,
I'd say it was probably a slight concern because I'm sure, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm sure he probably would have wanted to stay at Rovers permanently anyway. Coming with that loan
yeah.
in July, that he probably had hopes that this was
Stay
going to
on.
become a permanent thing.
Yeah.
Because look, at the end of the day, who wants to stay at Sligo Rovers? Not many.
But
But
get poor Sligo Rovers.
But yeah, no, it's one of them that I think he probably had the intentions that he wanted this move to become permanent when he came. So when he suffered that injury, a month into his spell at Rovers, that he probably thought he was going to have limited opportunity to impress Bradley before a decision had to be made whether either another loan, a permanent move, or just send him back to Sligo and kind of be done with things. So the fact that he's staying is a huge boost, and it's one to excite. It is one that I think, I don't know, he's 3 years older than Conan Noonan, who he's, as we've said, he's essentially replacing. So it's a case that, look, it might work out. Hopefully it does. He's shown signs that it will, of course, but yeah, it's just a case of when you're letting go a younger talent, it's always a bit more difficult. It's one that's come through the ranks at Rovers as well.
Yeah, losing young players is tough enough anyway, but let alone you losing a young player who's been made by the club that they are. Like, he coming through the academy and then having to leave must be tough, especially for the players. Because you've been there since you're a kid. You've spent so long there that leaving, so it's obviously going to hurt that bit much more. But yeah, it's still a good move, and you have to expect probably a few minutes now for Conor now on Thursday night against Breiðablik. He's had minutes in every single other Conference League game so far this season, so kind of expect similar.
Yeah, that's it. Again, and look, we'll get on to the Breiðablik game, of course, in a few minutes as well, after we cover Conan Noonan. But yeah, look, you'd expect him to be in that. He'll definitely be a part of the travelling squad once he doesn't pick up kind of another knock. I'd assume. He's definitely one that, aside from injuries, he'll look like he's going to be a name that'll be on that first team kind of, or as in definitely in the match day squad, for example. Having 11 players on the starting, and then if you're able to bring 12 players for the bench, so obviously that's the limit. That he's guaranteed to nearly be on it once it's not an injury or depending on the fixture and stuff. But yeah, he's one that excites me. I think making him permanent, from what I've seen of him playing football, made sense. Yeah. You may argue the other side is that you might have liked to see him play a little bit more before committing to this.
Perhaps.
But, as well, the fee's been undisclosed from the Rovers' perspective, so you don't know how much is being given to Sligo for a player that hasn't had as good an opportunity as he'd like to make that impact on the Rover squad since July.
Yeah, it's one thing. We're gonna have a little rant for a second.
Here we go.
I hate the undisclosed fee. I don't like it.
Yeah.
When a transfer is made, it should be public knowledge. We don't need to know the salary. The transfer fee should be known. It's just something across all leagues and everything. It's just nonsense as well of like 30 million plus add-ons. Don't like that either.
Yeah.
It should just be however much you're paying the other club to get the player.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Well made. Yeah, I love a weekly Adam Casey rant on this podcast about something
about the state of something.
Yeah, about something in football that Adam doesn't like.
What else would you tuning in for?
Yeah, if it's not Sean Deviation's time zones, it's Adam Casey giving out about something he doesn't like in football.
Or just it could be anything really.
Well, that's it. There's such a wide range of football elements, I suppose, that there is to give out about, particularly after the recent World Cup draw.
We could have a full episode on that nonsense. Songs and a bit of stand-up. I was watching Britain's Got Talent.
Well, I was watching it from the pub, and there was no commentary, and I noticed it was 6:15, and I noticed that it's supposed to start at 5. So then I looked it up on Sky News just to see what the text updates were, and they're like, then the latest one I saw when I tuned in for it was that the draw was going to get started, but they had to just wait for a Robbie Williams performance.
That's unbelievable. Robbie Williams. That's what I was tuned in for. That's the only reason I was watching it.
Yeah, I asked them to turn the telly off after Angels. But yeah, look, it's football these days, particularly with the Americanization of football.
It's all big pump. Well, their sport in general is pomp and circumstance, really. But not the League of Ireland. You don't get that nonsense.
Well, actually, Conor Malley is not an undisclosed fee because it's free.
Oh, it's free.
His contract expires in November with Sligo. So he's coming on a free. But the only thing the club, that's what it was. The club didn't announce how many years the contract was. I got them mixed up with the fee, undisclosed fee, or because they described it as a multi-year contract. I'd expect that to be 2.
Multi-year seems longer than 2. I don't know. Multi-year, I'm thinking 4 or 5. Because 2, you might say a couple of years. They don't really say that. Official. I'm signing for a couple of years.
Yeah. I'm signing for 1 or 2. Yeah, but I suppose, look, with the Rovers front and Conor Malley, like, sign on a free, well, then you can't argue with that.
No, you can't.
So you can withdraw your rant of an undisclosed fee.
Anything for free is good.
Yeah, well, that's it. But yeah, like, I think on a free it makes sense in that case. You're getting the money in from Conan Noonan's transfer, and you're getting a talent there in Conor Malley, 25, plenty of experience in football across different leagues, as you've said, and with the championship even included in that, and he's shown, the talent against Shakhtar Donetsk was that, he definitely shows at the minute he can do it for Rovers on the highest stage possible the Rovers are playing on.
He's shown spells of promising play in the recent games. He's been getting minutes in, and he started the last 2 Conference League games. So from that logic, maybe he will start again on Thursday night, and perhaps be a good way to kind of get everyone behind them as well after making it a permanent deal, and fans don't have to worry about falling in love with the loanee.
Yeah, well, that's always the risk. Johnny Kenny. But yeah, like, I suppose with that one, it's like, obviously there'll be a limited number of Rover supporters probably making the trip to Iceland for the game.
It's a long way to go.
It's
just before Christmas as well.
Yeah, burns a hole in the pocket.
You're heading up towards the North Pole.
Yeah, well, that's it. You're leaving your letter in while you're there. But for that trip, I think, like, it's a tough way to go.
You were thinking about going.
Work didn't work out, put it that way. But yeah, it's one of these. It's a long trip, and it's an expensive trip. Iceland's not cheap, as Rover supporters may be aware. After the last game against them, but it's one that I think will excite many that are going to go on that club charter. The club charter wasn't cheap either.
No.
That was put on, like, obviously, look,
the club charter would be unbelievable.
Yeah, it would, yeah. And look, obviously, with charters are always a bit more expensive, and anyway, you're kind of paying for a lot more. Like you're basically paying rent out playing there,
Yeah,
that kind of sense. So
you're paying for the experience.
yeah, exactly. You're paying extra for it's actually €100 for the return flight. It's 500 for a seaside road gaffy.
Yeah. Yeah, you
um,
get you go on like Ryanair to choose your seats, and it just shows you who's beside you.
yeah. But I suppose we'll move it on to the outgoing transfer of the week, and that was, of course, Conan Noonan,
Yeah,
headed for Waterford on a 3-year deal for 50,000. A good move for the lad, but obviously sad, as we said already, sad to see him go.
yeah. Sad to see a young lad and a young lad from the academy go. Only 22 years of age as well. But yeah, no, for his career, wish him all the best. Obviously, and I hope he got a lot of regular game time this year for him, and he's impressed for Waterford. Um, Obviously 32 games played in the league, for example, 6 goals, 7 assists.
Yeah, I think he even got 1 or 2 in the cup as well. So
Yeah, and he got a goal in the relegation playoff as well.
yeah, that was the big one against Bray Wanderers
Yeah,
that led them to coming from behind to keep retain their Premier Division status. So
yeah, and
yeah, he's provided important
he
moments.
stepped up in a big moment that Waterford kind of needed that because Waterford went 1-0 down to start that game, and then obviously brought it back and won. But goals change games. If he hadn't scored, who knows?
Conan Noonan changes games.
Yeah,
Yeah, like as we're saying here, it's obviously sad to see him go, and he's definitely been one that is impressed. He did have he had bouts with injuries and illness that ruled him out a couple of times.
hmm
In terms of what I mean by a couple of times, a couple of seasons, because they weren't minor in any way, so it led to lengthy spells on the sideline for him, and there were particular moments where he looked like he could kick on. I had put in the article, if you haven't already, the milltownway.com, a recent article on Conan Noonan. And if you've noticed, it's been a recent upgrade from the milltownway.wordpress.com.
yeah.
Cut out the middle, man. But yeah, like look for Noonan, he's a special talent for Rovers, I think, and or he
He
was
was,
since. And I think he'll do really well at Waterford.
yeah,
He's even one that I see if he was to impress over the next couple of seasons with Waterford,
you could
like
see him coming back. Yeah,
because I think he'll. Now the only thing is he may have a trajectory there that because obviously Waterford are under that multi-club ownership with Fleetwood
yeah.
Town, that there might be a pathway there for him to head to England. Not that it's the most desired route. Um,
No,
Obviously,
well,
look, that depends on things for
depends
him.
on his perspective and his career goals as well, I suppose. But he
Yeah,
hasn't made an appearance. His last Rovers appearance will go down as the Borac Banjaluka game from
that was a
the
3-0 or yeah.
3-0, yeah, the penultimate game of the league phase last year in the Conference League. Johnny Kenny scored 2. Neil Ferrucci got the other.
Yeah, jeez, names of the
The
past.
names of the past.
Um,
We need
but
to focus on the present.
exactly. But no, I think with Neon, I think he'll do really well. The argument was kind of where our supporters, you know, satisfied with Malley replacing Noonan.
Yeah,
It's a bit of a tricky one in some regard. There's a 3-year age difference.
yeah, that's
And Malley, well, we've seen Noonan firsthand from the Rovers' perspective that he's shown once he gets going in the Rovers setup, and he's not been kind of hampered by injury or illness, that he's been able to strike chords and he's been able to do really well, put in good performances. Bradley spoke really high of him in not the season gone, season before, in the President's Cup
yeah,
against Pats, and it was a 3-1 victory in Tala, and he kind of just basically said he's ready to level up at that point. 2024, obviously he didn't have as many appearances as he probably would have liked. He did He did kind of sign off with the Conference League, and that was it. But I think there's just been definitely more room for him to grow, and I think he might have had a ceiling had he stayed at Rovers. Is the other side of it. I think minutes would have been limited. Um, Ideally, from my perspective, selfishly, probably would have liked him to go on another loan instead.
yeah. But yeah, I get what you mean. See him kind of. That's from a selfish
It
perspective.
is, yeah,
You're not thinking about it from his perspective.
yeah, exactly. Like he, no, no, look, yeah, exactly. if he had another impressive season with Waterford, if it was a loan or if he went to another club alone, I think there was interest from Pats, but they never kind of pursued it. Was a word I heard. But yeah, so things like that, it's good for him. I think it's also good to see a fee being paid across the league.
Yeah.
I suppose that look, we say that as we boast that Conor Malley's arriving
On a free,
but
from a selfish perspective.
from the selfish perspective, yeah, exactly. But it is nice to see a fee.
It is a
being
Rovers
paid.
podcast after all.
Yeah, well, that's an independent one.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, no, look, it's one of that. I think it is nice to see a fee paid, and obviously it's a bonus that it's headed in Rovers' direction.
Yeah, of course.
Fees being paid across the league is nice, and there's a lot because there's a lot of contracts are shorter that these players sign.
Yeah.
Like for example, Noonan, who's young, he's 22. He's signing for Waterford, but he's signing on a 3-year deal.
The deals are a lot shorter, so you see a lot more
Yeah.
movement of free agents than you would in
Like even Malley's,
other leagues.
I'm nearly sure is a 2-year contract with Rovers, but it's also, I think, like with Malley, I suppose he's 25, committing to maybe a 5-year contract, a bit more risk involved. I think in that regard, that would have taken until he's 30. It's a bit more of a risk. But then with Noonan, you'd think 22, he's done really well in his first season with Waterford. Could he have been offered a bit more than 3 years? It obviously depends on
it's
the status of the clubs in the background as well. But
there's that risk of relegation and stuff then, and
yeah, exactly. Like you would think, had Watford not have beaten Bray in that relegation promotion playoff,
he probably would have stayed or gone somewhere else.
Yeah, I think he would have probably went somewhere else. He's shown if he's performing. I think if he's producing that level or that output at Waterford in a side that did struggle this season.
Yeah,
they finished 9th in the league and stuff. But if he's producing that output at that club and at that level, he definitely, I think he would have been ready for a bigger move. Obviously, as I said, Pat's being one of them interested, but
they never pursuing
it. But I suppose you would want them to see going to another Dublin club.
No, I'd rather him go to Waterford than Pats. Realistically,
yeah, that's it. I think Waterford is a good place for him to go.
Yeah.
Just once they don't get relegated, which you can't really guarantee that.
No, you can't guarantee. Like Dundalk will be up now, and for all we know, they could be unbelievable again. You don't know.
I can hear the stereo or the mic from Oriel Park as we speak.
The noise, I feel like it's like a World War II siren.
Yeah.
When you're playing like COD Zombies back in the day.
It'll be interesting to see when Rovers have to make their 2 trips there as well, because the fixtures come out, I think it's on the 15th of December.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3 days before Rovers conclude the year against Hammer and Spartans. Tuesday week from the podcast. So yeah, look, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting time around the league. It's one of these that, with most of them, I suppose, for most clubs, they're just thinking about next year. Obviously, Rovers 2 more games to go and potentially making it out of the league phase of the Conference League. I think that would be a monumental task if they're to do this.
Yeah,
the goal difference we spoke on.
Yeah, well, should we just get into?
Well, we're flirting around the idea at the minute, so we may as well get into our match day preview of Breiðablik. Meeting with a familiar foe.
Yeah. The Icelandic outfit themselves. We've played them obviously before.
2021. Lost 3-1 on aggregate over the 2. Losing 1-0 in Tallaght and losing 2-1 in Iceland. So it doesn't bring back particularly good memories for
Rovers. 2023, sorry, not 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just...
I said 21.
Yeah.
23.
Oh, shocking stuff.
I know, this is it. You gotta be sharp.
The 1-0 lost out there, and then the 2-1 loss at home. You get knocked out of the Champions League qualification. Not ideal, but revenge is a dish that best served cold, some would say.
Well, this is it. So it'll be. I think it's a must win. We knew that anyways, and
we've been saying that since the start. As soon as we got the
fixtures,
we were like,
and the order of them as well, particularly, wasn't it? Starting off with Sparta Prague, Athens, Celje, and Shakhtar Donetsk. That's a very tough run of fixtures. So it always, I think, look, starting off, as we've said before, I think people who may not have been really looking at Celje since Rovers had beaten them in the qualifiers last season. Probably thought that should have been another 3 points, particularly in Tallaght.
Yeah.
It didn't go that way. So then it always came down that after that Selge game, I had to grab something from Athens and Shakhtar. Had to be at least a point
I have
from
to
them
at
too.
least.
Rovers got it. Arguably, you could have said they could have got
They
three
could have.
against Athens. Could have got one against Shakhtar. We were talking about completely different.
We'd be talking about, we'd be a lot more confident about going through.
Yeah, Rovers could have sat on 4 points.
Yeah.
On another day, and could be finishing on 10 points, which is what nearly top 8 stuff.
At that point,
10 points last
might
season.
as well just give us the conference.
Well, book the flights. Hold off on booking the flights to Mexico for the World Cup.
Guadalajara. Here we come.
But yeah, it's a tough fixture. Heading away in Europe is always tough as well.
Yeah, especially going somewhere quite far, somewhere a bit frosty.
Yeah,
cold.
You want to bring our hats and scarves.
Yeah, you would. I wonder what temperature it is out there now.
Yeah. But yeah, I suppose your initial kind of thoughts going in to a fixture like this, are you?
Well, it's a must win. I don't know. They haven't been in great form in the Conference League. They are also winless after 4 games. They did have some tough fixtures as well. They opened the Conference League against a team called Lausanne from Switzerland. That was probably butchered, that pronunciation, but
probably. But that's what we do. Every European podcast, every preview, review.
And then a game against KUPS from Finland, another 0-0 draw. So they got the 2 points in both. They lost the first game, drew the second, sorry. Then I lost to our pals, Shakhtar Donetsk.
2-0 that was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then a 2-2 draw with Samsunspor, who obviously sit top of the Conference League, and that's the only points they've dropped.
That makes it different.
Yeah, so that leaves a different taste.
I didn't even take that into consideration.
And then they obviously have to play us, and then their last fixture is Strasbourg, who also are on 10 points.
Oof. Well, they have a tough.
We thought we had it bad.
Yeah. Well, the Kuopio, from Finland. KUPS. So I'm taking a stab at that one.
Yeah, something like that.
You would have thought, that's a bit of an easier fixture.
Yeah.
That they drop points for. Lausanne from Switzerland, I don't know. Yeah, they're tougher. I know. I know.
They're still currently sitting 13th. Lausanne. They're actually playing KUPS.
Yeah, well, there you go.
In the next week.
But for Rovers, I think, as we've said, and we've always said, it's a must win. It's something that the players obviously having 2 weeks between the games. Both teams go into the same scenario. That was a bit more of an interesting take that Breiðablik's domestic season runs a bit of a similar pattern to Rovers.
Yeah, it's obviously a different format, but similar.
Yeah,
time frame kind of.
Their season concluded what? Did you say 8 days? Was it?
Yeah, about 8 days before. So the 23rd of the 26th of October.
Oh yeah, 8 days before.
Yeah,
or it's
less.
6.
Yeah.
Maths.
Oh yeah, it was Yeah,
there we go. But yeah, so if they're running of a similar timeline that way, it just means that they're running into the same scenario. They have 2 weeks. Now, obviously, as we kind of, I suppose, similar to the way we said these get 2 games or 2 must wins. In the similar way we say that, it's also a similar conversation that we have of is the 2 weeks off. Does it do more bad than good when you're out of a game for 2 weeks and you're not, playing that one week?
It's tricky, isn't it?
I do think with a 2 week gap, it's okay. I don't.
Yeah, of course.
If it was anything more, I think between the Cork Cup final,
that was about 2 weeks. That was long. That was 2.5.
Yeah, just over 2.5.
So you could have argued there's a bit of rust.
Yeah, getting out of it, you're falling out of a habit, I think, as well in that regard.
Especially when it's towards the end of the season, it's because it's been. But at the start of the season, I suppose you could probably get away with it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when you've been doing the same routine for 9 months or so, and then suddenly it's just over.
Yeah.
Must be strange.
Yeah, but that's it. I think the fact that both clubs are heading into the same scenario of not having played for 2 weeks, it does level out the playing field.
Yeah.
Completely. And obviously, Rovers on the back of that 2-1 defeat to Shakhtar, it's understandable that there's going to probably be a little bit of doubt creeping in. Breiðablik are only 1 point ahead of us.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, they have a similar goal difference as well. So
Yeah.
it's a similar boat for both sides, I'd say.
Yeah, both sides aren't probably where they want to be right now.
Yeah. It's just a matter of, I think either side is going to be looking at how can they creep into getting into these
Yeah.
places. That furthers the Conference League campaign and doesn't stop on the 18th of December. For Rovers to do that, it has to be 3 points. It can't be anything less.
There's no other option at this point. 3 points is needed.
Yeah, 3 points there, and then because if it's not, you're going into the Hammer and Spartans game, and you know that
It's over.
look, you might see a rotated 11,
Yeah.
but you
It's
don't
not
want
a great
that.
way to go out on the last day. You want to at least be fighting on that last day.
Yeah, you don't want it to be the case that it's just a game to kind of, I don't know, it's just a game that has to be played. That
Yeah.
kind of dead rubber fixture that means nothing to Rovers anyways. But yeah, I think it's going to be an upward task to go away to Breiðablik and win. As I said, it's a side that not very happy memories for Rovers.
No.
But it's something that I think going off the form, Rovers have to be confident.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think you look at Breiðablik and think that I don't think you should be going in with negative thoughts. I think
No, of course not. But I don't think it's not a walk in the park.
No, there'll be no rollover.
No, of course not.
I think So for Rovers, they just need to be firing on all cylinders. Who would you think should be the leading talisman? We spoke on the last one ahead of Shakhtar. I think we both said Graham Burke. He didn't end up starting. So we're not good at this bit.
No. There's a reason we don't pick the teams.
Not well. According to my dream last night, where I was the assistant, I had a word.
I would like to see Burkey start again. McGovern, no shade on McGovern. He was very good against Shakhtar.
I would be starting McGovern after that Shakhtar performance. He's shown now that he can. He just offers something. I think in Europe, he was a concentrate against Shakhtar. Obviously, he didn't play the full 90. He was the one who won the penalty against Athens. Yeah. I just think he has that little bit of spark in him.
Yeah.
And in Europe,
Gaffney as well. It's
Gaffney, Burke, and McGovern. I can see it being Gaffney and McGovern again. Burke I think might have a bit more of a more positive impact on the game if he's to come off the bench.
It's hard to know. Hard to know, but you do have to expect. I do think you're right about McGovern playing. As much as I do love Graham Burke and I would like to see him there, but
that left foot,
the wonderful left foot.
Yeah,
you do have to expect McGovern, and I think he will be the similar starting 11 to the last day against Shakhtar, but
yeah, because the thing is, I think Rovers started that game against Shakhtar a bit shaky and a bit kind of misplaced passes where it doesn't it's not normally seen.
Yeah.
So I think if you're taking that into consideration with Shakhtar, I think overall it was a good performance from Rovers.
Of course,
we spoke very highly of it in that podcast, and thought it when we watched the game and stuff. So I don't think you should be making wholesale changes to that starting 11.
No, wouldn't.
There might be a couple of injuries. Who knows?
A few changes here and there and stuff.
Depends on what Bradley says during the week. If there is going to be any injuries that rule some players out of that game. Josh Honahan is the one that the question mark remains around. He obviously picked up that injury in the game against Sligo on the last day of the season, played in the cup, but then, for example, the Shakhtar fixture, no mention of him being injured, but he wasn't in the match day squad, so bit of a concern there. And maybe there is an injury there that maybe Bradley's just hasn't spoken on publicly, but for a supporter perspective, from my perspective, it just adds concern that, as I said last week, is he even in the country or is he at a football club called Lincoln City?
Don't, please, don't. Don't ruin my Christmas. Just wait until after.
You will be lonely this Christmas.
Last Christmas I gave you my heart.
That was when that was rung out at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, that was
last Christmas.
Biblical.
Well, I think
what a time to be alive.
Well, you want a similar Christmas present from the Hoops this year. Conference League on the horizon when that all comes back in February.
You would like that, and obviously if they do get in there, it will be a tricky draw.
Yeah, your odds would be stacked against you again, won't it? It would be a case of that.
Could be a Crystal Palace or Fiorentina.
Well, you see, you'd play the knockout playoff.
They're in the
Are they in the positions? They're not in
Palace
the
are
top eight.
on the 18th.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
They've only won 2, lost 2. Same with Fiorentina.
Fiorentina haven't been
Great,
themselves in
no.
football either.
They lost to Athens, Fiorentina, and Mainz. Beat Rapid Vienna and Sigma Olomouc.
Yeah, Rapid Vienna haven't had a good campaign. They're the only team lower than Rovers in the league phase.
Yeah, they haven't. They've 0 points. They've lost all 4.
Wish we could play them again this year as opposed to
Played them
last
6 times.
Yeah, but that 1-1 draw last season at Rapid Vienna was something special for the side as well, showing that they can challenge against topper teams. So,
Topper teams.
Not necessarily a word, is it?
No. Well, you have to as well. Crystal Palace this week have a big game. Crystal Palace coming to Tala, in fact. Coming to play in the Fortress.
Don't like that.
I don't like it either, but
there's another Adams rent.
Yeah.
That's a side podcast.
You shouldn't be allowed in European competitions unless you have a big enough stadium. You should have to build it bigger.
I just think, well, I see initially thinking there's a lot of people.
What happens if there's a year where there's 3 of them? 3 Irish, 3 teams. What happens if Pats make it then? What happens then?
Yeah.
One half in Tala. They just do. It's like when the kids come out to play at half time. The little guy. Yeah, that's the pitch.
Yeah, one half. Yeah, well, I suppose that's an order. Like, I thought that game was going to be in the Aviva when I first saw the draw made, because there's a lot of fans that are going to hop on the bandwagon, and so all of a sudden they're going to a team called Shelbourne that they didn't know existed, and don't support the League of Ireland, and but they hear an English club is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't like that. But
no.
And Tallaght sold out for that game, of course it is. A lot of people hopping on it. But I think, look, this is a Shamrock Rovers podcast.
Yes.
As we like to say.
It's not about shells, but
hopefully. We're just talking about Shamrock Rovers home.
Hopefully
more so.
Palace can get a nice win.
Yeah. Well, they're in good form.
Boom, boom, boom.
Mateta's in the room. Yeah, look, Rovers have a monumental task on their hands. I think this is going to be so much tougher, I think, than Hammer and Spartans as well. So it's a case of just get the 3 points and get back to Tallaght, and
anything can happen in Tallaght.
Well, this is it. The magic under the lights.
It's where dreams are made.
I think I think the message for Rovers at Thursday is just doesn't matter how you do it.
Get a win.
Just win.
Just
get 3 points.
Just
win.
Do it. We're not Nike, but just do it.
Yeah. There's no sponsorship just yet.
No.
But
the big Nike deal's coming next week.
A Rovers deal with Macron, they released that kit.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. That
doesn't sound too confident.
Well, it was compared with Hibernian's kit from a few years ago.
Yeah.
In 2019, I think it was. And they're just identical, really.
Because I haven't seen the Hibernian one.
Yeah, it's because Hibernian's kit is obviously they're green and white as well.
What year was that, did you say?
I think it was 2019. Their away kit is black, the way Rovers is, and then by the badge, it's just green and white stripe going down. Kind of nearly exactly the way the Rovers one is. I don't know. That doesn't really. You kind of want.
Don't like you want something new.
You want something like you can't just be using.
Oh, it's literally the same kit.
Yeah. So it's
2018. It was, in fact.
2018.
I think they can get away like every 7 years. We can reuse it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I liked it, but now I found that out, I don't like it.
It put a sour taste.
My sister might have been right. I showed her to her yesterday, and she was like, "The state of that."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. My fiance said it was different.
That's always a good answer.
I don't know. Like, look, it's. Yeah, I just don't like it being the design being rehabbed.
No, I don't like the recycle.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
I'm all for the environment and stuff.
Now, the only thing I do I like when clubs don't just constantly make new kits.
Yeah.
Bray Wanderers are holding on to their.
Only make a new every 2 years. You don't need a new one every year.
No, you don't like.
The same as what another rant. Third kit should not exist.
What if Rovers play someone who also wears green and white, and then let's just say next season Rovers play a team, and they wear green and black. Then what do they do?
What's their away kit then? Their away kit can be red or something. Then you have to third kits should not exist. It's just a way to get money.
No, but Waterford Rovers is away to a team, and their home jersey. The team Rovers play, their home kit is green and black.
Let's try a few yellow bibs.
Turn it inside out.
Shirts versus skins. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But I don't know. We got away with clubs didn't wear away jerseys for long and didn't have third jerseys for years.
I know.
It's a money making racket.
What's the club that's gotten a Sporting? Have you seen how many? Apparently they've made a lot of kits. And I followed.
I know another team who has.
Who?
Bows.
Oh.
They've got like 16.
Jersey FC.
Yeah.
Hello.
They've got Guinness ones, one for every band. Your own personal Spotify Wrapped one. With your team.
No, it's one of these like with Sporting. I saw there was complaints because they had made a Christmas kit. They made a Christmas kit.
They're feeling a bit festive.
There's no Christmas resemblance on the kit.
Oh.
Was they just made one?
What's it?
It's just because maybe they're releasing it around Christmas.
It seems like remember City as well brought out an Oasis definitely maybe jersey that they wore once.
Yeah.
Same with Ireland. Ireland had that black jersey that they wore once.
Or that blue special jersey, for the friendly against Qatar.
Oh, yeah.
And where they won 4-0, that one.
That was nice, though.
Yeah, no, it was nice. So Sporting at the minute, I think, have 8 kits. They have home, away, third, fourth, a fourth in a different colour, a Stromp kit.
What the hell's a Stromp kit?
I don't know, a pink October kit. And then recently, I think, was the Christmas one, the Christmas special. Or that might have been that fourth kit, black. I don't know.
What's black got to do with Christmas? The coal.
That's what you're getting. But yeah, it's look back onto what we're all here for. We're going off on some tangent that we talked about Christmas. You're getting coal and sport and have loads of kits.
Yeah, why not?
I wouldn't have it any other way.
What else would you be tuning in for?
Exactly. Well, this is it. Your listenertainment. Look, back on track here.
Yeah.
Shamrock Rovers play a football game on Thursday even.
Yeah.
Breiðablik 5:45.
Yeah.
Kickoff time. Don't like them either. That could be another episode. Early kickoffs in the midweek is.
That should just be one of the episodes during the off season.
Everything
we do. 100 things you hate about football.
Exactly. But no, look. Obviously, best wishes to the supporters who are going to be travelling to Iceland for the fixture.
Do you haven't know any numbers of how many are heading out yet? But
no, I don't.
Small stadium, it only holds 5,000.
I thought it was 3. I don't know. It's something like that. But yeah, in that area.
It's a wee stadium. It's not big.
I know the club charter they put on isn't sold out. I saw there were seats remaining the other day. I think that was hoping to bring. Was it 200? Is it 200? I think
it's just a long trek this time of year.
It's just it's money more. I think probably the most.
Oh, that's what I mean. This time of year is
money.
Yeah. It's an expensive time of year.
Yeah. I think. Look, safe travels to the Rover supporters. They'll have a great time. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hopefully, come back with 3 points and hopefully a win as well.
Hopefully.
More than that. That's just for that's for probably what. How long would the flight be around?
I'd say about 3 hours.
Yeah, it's in around that. So, stuff like that. So this is what Europe's all about: going to the away places you would never go to.
Well, you might take a trip to Iceland one day. See the Blue Lagoon or something.
Just to see Saint Nick. So it's one of them. So I think they just European away games. They take you places that you might not be going to.
No.
Like Athens and Prague. A lot of people go there. Ireland will be going there in March.
Yeah,
play Czechia.
Hopefully.
It's
gonna be an eventful year. Trip to Prague, back to Dublin, Guadalajara, Atlanta, and then Mexico City.
Well, that's it. But for Rovers, obviously, hopefully the European away trips don't stop.
No.
Next Thursday's the last away game, obviously, as well.
Yeah.
And
then
the second last game.
the following will be the last home game.
Yeah, last
But
game.
it'll be the last home game for a few months anyway, no matter the outcome.
Sure, we'll only have after this 2 more episodes this year. Yeah.
See you next year. We have to whip that out on the last episode.
I'm too nuisance last year. But yeah, no. Other than that, I suppose it should line up to be a good trip. I think Rovers will go on the numbers, and obviously the charter might not have sold out yet, but fans might be making their own like cheaper direct, ways.
Ryanair and stuff.
Yeah, and layovers and God knows where.
Yeah.
So
all the layovers you'd have to go the other way to get.
Yeah, well, that one I looked at was like a layover in Munich.
Okay.
And then I think it was a 9-hour layover. You land on Wednesday night, and the flight's first thing Thursday morning.
Are Bayern playing that night?
Yeah.
So Champions League
kill a couple of hours.
Actually might.
They probably are. Well, it's European week, so.
Surprised if the flights aren't really expensive then.
Well, I don't think there's many Dublin Bayern Munich fans.
They're playing Tuesday night.
At home?
Yeah. To our best mates, the festive sporting.
I wonder what kit they'll wear that day.
It's just a lucky dip.
Yeah, they do a draw each game. But no, that's it, I suppose, from us.
Yeah.
Say again, as I've already said, safe travels to the supporters who make the trip to Iceland. Let's hope it's a memorable, and hopefully Rovers return with 3 points.
Hopefully it can be another. Hopefully 3 points, our first 3 points of this campaign.
Well, that's it. Only sitting on the one so far. I know and it has been tough. I'm not one to.
No, we're not knocking the lads. It's just.
But aside from that, I'm not one to sugarcoat it in the terms of that. If it was a run of fixture, you think Rovers might have been getting more from.
Oh yeah, if you thought, but
aside from Sells, maybe home game.
Sells were good though.
Sells are really good, and they're going to surpass obviously the league phase of the competition. So you'd expect them to go on that bit more, but yeah, I suppose that's it from us.
Yeah.
Conan Noonan heads off from Rovers.
Yeah.
Conor Malley's here to stay. Shamrock Rovers head to Iceland. I'm sure Conor Malley will be part of that squad that travels as well.
Yeah.
But that's it from us. As I've said, we're recording. Our next episode will be this day next week, so we'll be back this day next week, Monday, the Monday after the Breiðablik fixture, where we'll discuss Breiðablik, and we'll also discuss what's coming up against Hammer and Spartans.
Yeah.
Potential au revoirs to some players potentially.
No. I'm trying and tell on the 19th.
Exactly, on the 18th.
18th,
yeah. But no, apart from that, that's it from us. Thanks for listening. Make sure you do share it. You can listen to this podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. Make sure you check out the website as well. It is the upgraded title, themilltownway.com. And all the latest Rovers news is there. Conan Noonan's departure as well. And the impact on Shamrock Rovers is on the website. So make sure you give that a read. But until then, we'll chat to you next week.